Hey, what's up guys? I guess you can tell from my hat that I'm heading to Inner Mongolia right now. I'm at the airport trying to get a cup of coffee, but I couldn't find it. Here's the fur shop, here's the like toys, souvenir, silver. Coffee's not tasty at all, most of the places. I mean, the food in China has been great, of course. I'm spoiled with the really delicious food here. How many different cuisines in Chinese food? Let me put it into this way. If you put all the Western food in together, like all the European food, North American, South American food, all putting together, and that will be how many Chinese cuisines are. Not just because China is super big geographically. Basically every province is like a country if you compare China with Europe, but it's also because we have so many different races, ethnicities, and traditions. That's why there's nothing, nowhere, no food can compare to Chinese food. I'm not really saying other food are not as good, but I mean the diversity of the food. You can basically find any type of cooking method and any type of taste in Chinese food. I've been lacking coffee, as you can see, for days, and I have to wake up super early every day, basically every other day, to catch up some flight to be somewhere. So I need my coffee. Chinese never really have the habit of drinking coffee. We like to drink tea. So coffee is also not really locally grown everywhere here, but recent years coffee beans has been commonly grown in the area of Yunnan. Secondly, coffee entered into China way later than into Thailand. Probably people in Shanghai or Beijing would grab a cup of coffee before they go to their office, and that is considered into a kind of fashionable thing. But in Thailand, it doesn't really represent any social status. It's just a beverage. Also because the price is super low, it could be super low. Like some places selling coffee by the street in a bag, like for, I don't know, 20 baht or something. Despite my coffee-deprived monotone, I had an absolutely fantastic time in Inner Mongolia. This is probably the most creepy hotel I've ever stayed. Last night, I slept in the belly of this thing, and I had a lot of nightmares. After helping my friend organize an Olympic-sized wedding, I was rewarded with this trip to this city called cosmopolitan at the borderline of China, Russia, and Mongolia. I have to say, in a way, this trip has been fantastic. It was the grandest, weirdest, and most David Lynch style of city I've been to. In my whole life, I've never seen so many Russian dolls. I was haunted by them everywhere. I don't know how to describe this city. This is maybe it's a Russian Disneyland, but it doesn't really feel like I'm in Russian right now because I don't see any Russian anywhere. It's a Russia concept Disneyland, only serving the Chinese tourists. So last night I was in this walking street and I was trying to find some dog food for this little puppy that hasn't been eating for 2 days probably, and I couldn't find any store selling that. The whole street is filled with Russian snack supermarket and souvenir shops, and I heard this place opens only 3 months a year, so any other month if you come here, it's a ghost town. Another thing that gives me the sense of dystopian is the restaurants here. Yes, it's not an aquarium, not a museum, it's a restaurant. In this city, the only Russians you might see are the waiters lined up at the entrance of the restaurant to welcome you, or the ones who are dancing on the stage at another restaurant with hundreds of people watching at them in the same way like they're watching the plate of meat in front of them. What is food? Is it just an energy resource for our bodies? Is it entertainment? Is it culture? How did our relationship with food has come to this? How does our relationship with food affect the world? At the end of my each journey, I am often left contemplating many such questions. With these in mind, I seek to discover my own answers through this giant life experiment with my farm, animals, and the food I grow.